Good evening, fellow art collectors, and welcome to another episode of Lee's Comic Art Channel. I've got another unboxing today, 3 different pages from 2 sources. So let's get started. I think this is the most recent one I received. So I am wearing my OAX shirt today that I got from the from our booze, what is it, the annual bub crawl, our bub crawl that we did. And I do like this t-shirt, and I'm looking forward to OAX 2026, the 3rd annual show. This is so I had a great time last time. You know what? While I'm opening this, I'd like to do a poll with you guys, because I was trying to evaluate the benefits of buying the VIP ticket. So I know not all of you necessarily go to OAX, but I know a handful of you that watch these shows that I create do. So do me a favor and in the comments, let me know what you think of the pros and cons of the VIP, because I'm not seeing a real lot of benefits. I know it's got the preview night, which is cool. I'm sure it probably has one of the nights at Miller's where they give you tickets when you're a VIP. I'm not really sure, because when I read the comparison between, like, you know, a weekend ticket and VIP, I'm just not sure if the extra $150 is worth it or not. So yeah, if you guys could chime in, I'd appreciate your opinions. I'd like to know where you stand as far as that's concerned. So this first package is from Essential Sequential. Just kind of an impulse buy that I did by an artist that I like, that I do already have a couple of pages by. Raphael Albuquerque, and this one's from 2009, this page. So it's a DC page, of course. I'm not sure if Raphael I don't think he's done anything for Marvel. I know he's done some, I'm pretty sure he's done some independent stuff. But I know most of his work has been through DC. American Vampire, the few different stories, including the original, which I do have a Patreon, and I'm very happy to have. In the first issue, actually. And then he's done some of these Batman, Superman issues, which is what this is, one of those. And I just got a kick out of this. It's very playful. It's an issue that Mr. Mixelplick, or however the hell you say his name, I've never known how to say that character's name in my entire life. He's not actually on this page, I believe. No, he's not. But he's brought back some of his friends from his little imp dimension, and this is from Batman Superman number 16, 2009. Okay, so I got a kick out of it because it's got little imps of Superman and Batman on here, the Joker, Catwoman, Lex Luthor in his kryptonite suit, and then it's got a kind of jokey looking what's that character's name? I can't remember now. I'm like losing my mind, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, just a fun page. It's got a big kick out of it. So that's box number 1. Getting old is no fun. Okay, so this is now. I know when we were listening when we were watching Ruben's show, I would say it was a couple of weeks ago. I was actually on my way back from a trip to Vegas, and I was listening to the show and kind of watching the show on my phone, sort of, or mostly listening to it, of course, since I'm driving. But when I was in traffic, I would put some text up there. Not text, but I would put some messages up there in the comment section. And I happened to mention that I won a couple of items from a recent heritage auction. And the one that had just ended was their featured auction. And that's not the one I was talking about. So if I misled anybody to think that I won a couple of pages from that, I apologize. I did not get to specify because I was driving, of course, and I didn't. I realized it soon after I mentioned it because I noticed everybody was talking about, and actually that show was about the different pages that were won in that featured auction. Some really expensive pages, but that's not what this is, because you guys know me. I'm not a big spender in comic art. Once in a while I'll buy something nice. But, I don't go for those numbers that you see those auctions going for. So, yeah, these are one of my typical purchases from the, 70s, early 80s of traditional artists from DC stable. And now actually, two different pages here. One is from, I think, 81 it is, or no, 82. And the other one is actually from 2011. It's from the New 52. And I enjoyed the New 52 stories. I thought they were interesting for what they were. I know a lot of people weren't crazy about them rebooting the whole DC universe, and they had some interesting. Scott Snyder's run on Batman was really well done. Of course, I know that there's a lot of people that love that. I don't have any of that, but wouldn't mind a piece from that. They're pretty expensive. This one actually is from an artist. Well, actually, I'll do that one second. Let's do the 1982 page first, okay? So, 1982 page is Irv Novick and John Calnan in Superman Family number 221. This is page 40, because this is sort of like one of the more expensive books. Like they'd have like 4 or 5 stories in there. And, I was looking through the DC Comics database and just to see if they're like reprinting some older ones. And I think originally that's what they did in Superman Family. But then they started just doing a lot of original stories. And this is from one of those original stories. Really nice looking page. Great panel on the top with Superman flying. Irv Novick was a real staple at DC for over a dozen years or so. Working originally on Batman, and then he did different stuff throughout, and Superman towards the end there. But you don't see an actual change from Superman to Clark, but obviously he does it there. It's not one of those. It's in reverse, is what you're used to. Clark changing into Superman and taking off. But it's got Lana Lang in there. This is from a Mr. and Mrs. Superman story, which was one of the regular stories that they had going through that comic book. And I did notice that the last 12 last 12 covers of Superman Family, this is from the second to last issue. They did feature Supergirl on the cover. And like I said, those were like 1982. So I guess that kind of made sense because they were gearing up for this Supergirl movie in 1984, which, it's funny. I've never seen. I'll try to watch sometime. I know it really wasn't that great or anything, but I'm really happy with this page. Inexpensive page, really well done. You know, nice. Pretty sure you know, a combination brushwork from Callan, but really clean, professional. It's got the stamp on the back. Yeah, 1982. I wasn't reading comics at that time. I was graduating high school. Wasn't into comics then. But I like it just because it's a nice page. So it doesn't have necessarily this nostalgic feel for me. I did read Superman Family like probably like 8 years before or so, when I was like you know, 10, 11 or so. I'm trying to remember what that came from. Superman Family, I think, was either originally Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. I think that's what it was. I don't think it was the Lois Lane book, because one of them, and I believe it was Jimmy Olsen, changed into Superman Family. The numbers seem to match up to me. That's why I think it's that, but I could be wrong. It could be Lois Lane. Okay, so my second page that I won, I was really happy with, because I was never, all the times that I've met George Perez, I was never able to get a sketch from him. I'd be too late, or he wasn't doing sketches, and you know, unfortunately, lost him a few years ago. But I got something, like I said, from the New 52, Green Lantern, #2. Just a great looking page. These great 4 panels, the one inset panel with that half splash at the bottom, on the angle. Dan Jurgens did the pencils on this. A lot of action. It's not necessarily a page that you need the word balloons on, because it's mostly him in action. I love that that top right panel against the moon. A lot to like about this, and you know, I'll share with you guys that, you know, including my the buyer's premium, I think I only paid $175 for this. So, you know, for somebody that doesn't have, and again, it's not necessarily, it's not George's pencils, but it's some great inks by George from 2011. So I'm really happy with that. And I do have a handful of Green Arrow art anyways. For whatever reason, I like Green Arrow. He's not my favorite character, but it's one of the ones that I've kept my art. Like, whereas I've gotten rid of other characters from DC, I've sold the pages. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. 2 artists that I really love worked on that. So that is my show for today. Just those 3 pages, but very happy with them. Happy to be back on my show, and you know, feeling a little more settled in my house now. I still don't have things on the wall, but we're going to be replacing window back there anyways, and so they're going to have to paint and everything. I'm not going to waste my time. But everybody, do me a favor, leave those comments about that poll where I asked you about the VIP for OAX. I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Hopefully I see some of you guys that I saw last year there. And I'll, you know, be seeing you guys in the comments of my show, Ruben's show, you know, on Comic Art Fans and such. And you guys have a good week. Take care.